welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be reading another VeggieTales called A Night to Remember. A Lesson in Kindness. It was a night to remember in the kingdom of Scone. Hundreds of veggies strolled into the castle's courtyard to watch the annual tournament of pies. Excitement was in the air, and so was the sound of music. Bye-bye, Miss Rhubarbarian Pie. Drive your vassal to the castle, and bonk! A singing pea swung his mandolin to and fro and chuckled. "Ouch!" Petunia cried, as she quickly dodged another smack from the mandolin. Several veggies turned to see what happened, but Petunia quickly lost herself in the crowd. The kingdom of Scone didn't like people from the kingdom of Rhubarb. She hurried into the Tournament of Pies stadium and sat in the Fair Maiden section. Various knights were getting ready for pie contests that required bravery, skill, and a variety of tasty, mouth-watering, delicious pies. The band played a little night music as the master of ceremonies announced the first contest. The first pie competition this evening is between the Silent Knight and the Nighty Knight. The crowd became quiet as the two knights hopped up to a table loaded with the pies. When the queen stood and gave the signal, the pies flew. Coconut cream, chocolate, even peanut butter. Pies splattered against each knight's shield, but neither knight was creamed until, splat! A pumpkin pie sent the Nighty Knight home to bed. The crowd roared their approval, and the Silent Knight was silent no longer. "I am the greatest," he boasted to the guy from the Nightly News. "I will finish first before the day is over." But while everyone cheered the winner, Petunia watched something else. Another knight slipped into the stadium and helped the loser back up. "Who is that?" Petunia asked a nearby carrot. "That's the Duke of Scone," the carrot laughed. "Don't you know anything?" As Petunia shook her head, no, another carrot turned to say, "She wouldn't know that because she's a rhubarbarian." Then the carrots turned their backs on her. The announcer once again stepped up to the microphone. The second pie contest of the day features the knight who always has a fever, the Saturday Knight. The crowd clapped and cheered. The Saturday Knight will face a knight who's known for always running behind, the Late Knight. As applause filled the stadium, everyone paused to look for him, but he was late, of course. When the Late Knight ran in the door, the queen stood to begin the contest. Pies were splattered in an ooey-gooey, sticky, icky mess. "I'm staying alive," the Saturday Knight proclaimed. "Not on my watch," called the Late Knight. When the crust settled, the Saturday Knight was creamed clear to Sunday. He lay flat on his back with custard plastered on his face. The Late Knight teased the loser, who crawled off the field in shame. "You're nothing but a night crawler." "But I am the greatest. When this day is over, I will be first." As the crowd cheered the knight's victory, Petunia once again kept her eyes on the loser. The Duke of Scone hopped into the stadium to help him up and wipe the pie from his face. More contests followed as knights catapulted pies, shot them with crossbows, and even battled in a free-for-all. And after every contest, Petunia noticed the Duke of Scone was always there to help the loser. Finally, it was the Duke's turn to enter the tournament. In the next contest, the Stormy Knight will battle the Duke of Scone in a jousting war, the announcer boomed throughout the stadium. In this contest, each knight would ride piggyback on very large pickles while trying to knock each other off with a well-aimed pie. The crowd fell silent as the queen gave the signal, and the two opponents charged, aimed, and missed. The knights once again lined up to face each other. The queen gave the signal, and each opponent charged again as the knights raced towards each other. Suddenly, "Mommy!" The sound of a little carrot could be heard from the crowd. The Duke tried to ignore it, but as he prepared his pie, "Mommy!" The Duke turned to see if he could spot the child, and as he did, kapow! He was creamed with a mincemeat pie. The Duke tumbled over. The crowd went wild as the Stormy Knight pranced into the winner's circle. "Need some night vision goggles?" the Stormy Knight teased the Duke. But the Duke paid no attention. He picked himself up and headed into the crowd, trying to help the little carrot find his mother. By the end of the day, after 1,000 pies had been hurled, it was time to name the champion. Traditionally, the queen tossed a bouquet of flowers to the fair maidens in the stadium. The maiden who caught the flowers were allowed to choose the champion from all the winners. The queen hurled the bouquet of flowers high into the air, and they tumbled down, 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 and landed right in the lap of Petunia. The crowd gasped when they saw who caught the bouquet. But the queen stood and said, "My dear, you have the honor of choosing a champion from the winners." Petunia stepped forward and stared at all the knights in the winner's circle. The Silent Knight, the Late Knight, the Stormy Knight, the 12th Knight, one of the Three Dogs Knights, and the Hard Days Knight waited impatiently. "Pick me," they called. "I deserve to get first." After Petunia looked them over carefully, she took a deep breath. "I have decided to name today's champion the Duke of Scone." She draped the golden pie-shaped medal over the head of a very stunned cucumber. All at once, people started shouting, "You can't give the medal to a loser." Petunia bravely stepped up to the microphone to address them. "The Duke should receive first place because he is the true champion. You see, today he was the only one who truly put others first. Whenever someone lost, the Duke was always there to help the loser up. That's more important than winning a contest. That's winning in God's eyes." "You have chosen wisely," said the queen. "How did you ever notice what the Duke was doing?" I am a rhubarbarian," Petunia blushed. "I get teased and pushed away a lot, so when I see someone who puts others first, it's not difficult to remember." The crowd stood up and cheered. The Duke of Scone was a knight whom many would remember, not because his name would go up in night lights, not because he was a starry knight. The Duke of Scone was a knight to remember because he was a good knight, a legend in his land. Join the tournament of pies by using your eagle eyes. There are 5 differences between the top and bottom pictures. Can you find them? The kingdom needs your help. Can you find 3 pictures that rhyme with pie and 3 pictures that rhyme with night? Veggie value to share. God asks us to put others' needs ahead of our own. Do you remember times when you put others first? Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next one. Until then, bye.